So, if you were opportune to be part of the talk section that I had on Saturday, leveraging personality for business or career growth or success, and I was one of the speakers, or I was opportune to be one of the speakers. In fact, the first speaker hates the topic like. However, at least I am grateful to God for an opportunity to share, a little bit of the knowledge that I have been able to gain, over time. I'm not going to say that I'm so experienced in doing this. It's a work in progress for me. I'm on a learning curve and I am willing to continue to get better. So some of the key things that I actually spoke about is the role of our personality in helping us become successful in life. And some of the things I talked about as regards personality comes from the bedrock of what the Hippocrates, broke down temperament of everyone into four categories: the cholerics, the melancholics, the phlegmatics, and the sanguines. And I talked about the strengths and the weaknesses of these temperaments. I also talked about some of the characteristics and traits that makes these people unique, and some of the job roles or career paths that will be best fit for this temperament. So in addition to all of that, I just wanted to say that because some of the questions that I got at the end of the section was that, is it possible to have all four temperaments? I'm going to say that in order for you to be a total success, that is an all-round success at whatever you do, you need a little bit of all of this temperament. Because one of the things I mentioned was that for cholerics, especially for entrepreneurs have to definitely wear the cap of a choleric. You have to learn to be a good leader, whatever you do, and all of that. So for you to be a total and all-round success in whatever you're doing, you need a little bit of every temperament, because they all have their own strengths and advantages. However, there will be some that will be more predominant or more dominant in your life. And I, for one, have been able to discover myself so well to know that I am a sun male, and a lot of time, frequently, my sun, which is the talking, communicating, expressing part of me, is always on the forefront. And I'm grateful to God for being able to discover myself so much. So some of the things I mentioned is that a lot of people, they kind of like copy and paste draft of CV. People cannot really tell that those things they copied or those things they wrote in their CV really defines them. And some of the things I want to advise you right now is that you should be able to know yourself enough to be able to describe yourself for who you are and describe yourself for what you do. That is, you should be very clear about your purpose. You should be very clear about your life, your total being. And it's not like you got it from somewhere. It's something that you sat down, you wrote it yourself. So I encourage that people should take some time to go through some of these things. So we have the recording of the section available for you in case you want to listen. So take some time, sit down with yourself, try to describe yourself in the best way. This is the only way you can actually present yourself through your bio on your social media platforms or on your CV. Don't allow anybody describe you. Don't copy something from somewhere and write it just because that's what people do when they are seeking employment. You just see their CV, they write I'm a good team player and this and that, whereas they are nothing close to all of those things. Most times circumstances in the workplace is always a good judge of those attributes, and then they find out they are really not what they wrote in their CV. So sit down and describe yourself or who you are. There definitely has to be something that is special about you. There definitely has to be something that is unique about you. There's definitely has something that is your advantage, that is an edge over other people. You don't have to be like the sun. You don't have to be like the cholerics. You can be good at what you do, even as a phlegmatic, and be on the top of your game. So another question that came up, one asks that, how do I turn my weaknesses into strengths? So the answer to that is that there's this phrase that when I was going through my stuff, so some of the things that was written in my profile was that I am a survivor of depressive thoughts and low self-esteem from my past, and it almost led to suicide. To the glory of God, I'm out of that. I'm a better person. I love myself. I understand myself better. And some of the things that I was able to get from the counselors that counseled me when I was going through my stuff is this: focus on what is working. Did you hear me? Focus on what is working. What do I mean by that? You have strengths. Yes, definitely you will have weakness. In fact, as a matter of fact, for every one of us, we are all a work in progress. There's nobody that can tell me that they are actually in a perfect situation or their life is just completely perfect. We are all a work in progress. So definitely will always have weaknesses that we need to brush up, we need to work on, we need to become better at them. But that shouldn't be your focus. Your focus should be your strength. What makes you unique? Push your strengths so much in the faces of people that they can excuse your weaknesses. Your weaknesses will no longer matter. I, for one, over the years, I've been able to build my strengths to some level that when people see me, and they drop comments like, "Oh, I love how doing things. You're so versatile. You're doing so many things at the same time, and you're doing well with them, and all of that." I just smile because I'm the one who knows how I beat myself in the private, telling myself, "Kiki, you need to work on this." But I'm so glad that some of those things that I still need to work on are not as glaring to people as my strengths. And that's how we all should be in life. We all should, major on our strengths so much that even though you may be a phlegmatic, you are not really a talking time, you don't really relate, like other sanguines like that. But can you be so keen and on attention to details in the office whereby you are indispensable in that office? For instance, an accountant who knows her eggs, she knows her job, she's keen to details, and her boss knows that she's indispensable. Imagine when the bank was to lay off staff, she's never gonna be on that list. Because why? She has already built that strength, even though she might not be good at some things, but that strength of her of hers rather, as a phlegmatic, is so obvious that she has become indispensable. That's how we all are supposed to be. Nobody is perfect. We are all a work in progress. But can you be the best version of yourself wherever you are? I leave you with this, and I trust God to help each and every one of us become better in life. Have a wonderful time.